Mr. Speaker, I'm moved by the comments of the distinguished gentleman from California, and I wonder what our colleagues think the value is, other than of a purely political nature, to a resolution that purports to be honoring law enforcement when it's set up on a completely partisan basis. I wonder what the value of that is. I especially wonder about what the value of that is when the majority doesn't even stand by actual law when it comes to honoring law enforcement. Because this body, on March 15th, 2022, passed a resolution to put up a plaque, a simple plaque to honor the noble and brave police officers who battled for 4 or 5 hours to stop a violent riot and insurrection unleashed against this chamber and against the Senate in an attempt to overthrow a presidential election. And so we voted to erect a plaque in their honor. That was on March 15th, 2022. It was supposed to have been put up on March 15th, 2023. We're now more than 2 years overdue in honoring those police officers, 140 of whom were wounded, injured, disfigured, and many of them permanently disabled. And several lost their lives in the days to follow that atrocity, attack on this body. There's a law which says put up the plaque, and Speaker Johnson and the majority will not put the plaque up, which is why when you walk in the House office buildings now, everywhere, there are poster replicas of that plaque being put up. Now they want to pass a resolution deploring violence that took place thousands of miles away from here, and it's just a resolution, a hortatory resolution. They can't even get bipartisan support because, of course, they've got to set it up on a polemical partisan basis instead. What is the utility of that resolution when they won't even follow an actual law to honor police officers who put themselves between us and a bloodthirsty mob? And that's not a partisan point because the Republicans denounced it at that time as terrorism, as an attack on this institution, as intolerable, as unacceptable. And I'm happy to share with my colleague, who I know wasn't in Congress at the time, all of the statements made by Republican leaders at that time, begging Donald Trump to send in the National Guard, which he controlled because of the District of Columbia National Guard, and he didn't do it. He sat and he watched it, eating hamburgers or whatever in the White House on TV, ignoring all of the appeals to send the National Guard to come and defend Republican and Democratic members of Congress. And now we've got a law which says put the plaque up in honor of these officers, and they can't do it, but they want to bring a totally partisan resolution to the floor deploring violence thousands of miles away, and you've got members of Congress from California saying that they're not capturing what actually happened there. But no, it's got to be another opportunity for partisan division. Why? Why can't we honor law enforcement together and follow through on our word? I'll reserve.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman